guys, Morty Prime here, back to another video review. Today look at the Iron Factory Darkness Cygnus. It's something. Third party name that we're all gonna forget out in 5 minutes. But anyways, what we're looking at him, let's take a quick look at the box. So here it is. It's got some product shots there, him with the cannons out, that's jet mode. Got up here where it's the window and you can sort of see me. Got an image up there. And on the side here we have another image. Same one over here. And on the back, get various product shots and whatnot. All your warnings, your optional heads, your code you can scan, which I'm pretty sure just leads to their Twitter or Facebook account. And that's it. But I mean, hey, it's better than that Warren Pocket box where the only shattered glass thing on it was just a little sticker that says purple version. Jeez, man. But anyways, here he is in his jet mode, and obviously this is meant to be that like dark, like black repaints of Skyfire from the Henkei line, and you know, it got later reused into Shattered Glass Skyfire. So here he is in his jet mode. And I do like this. It feels a lot more techy. It feels actually a bit more Revoltech. Like this whole thing has a bit more of like a Revoltech vibe. So I don't know how intentional it was, but it's just like the Iron Factory aesthetic just made this seem like modern day Revoltech. But here you get to see like the boosters, the wings that are probably too small and frail to actually work. The underside of the jet, which you pretty much see most of the robot there. You also have the gun here, which you have to have the gun just because like it's hollow underneath without it, and it has the landing gear because there are landing gears that are folded out from the legs and then the gun. Speaking of fold out things, you can also open up these and fold out big guns, if I can get them out. Yeah. There's one. And there you go. So you got some options. But you can also just take off all the armor if you want to. So I'll show off in a second, because first I want to get into a comparison with the actual one, the Dark Skyfire toy. Which I do say this is pretty good like representation. It has less paint, which I think it's just an issue with this toy itself. Is just like the paint it has is pretty good, but like it needs more because when you take the armor off, it's just a sea of black. But I do still like the look. See, it has silver thrusters instead of the chrome, so it has like striping going down the wings, just not as much. And even the green cockpit, it works. But yeah, anyways, as I mentioned, you can just pop everything off somehow. There you go. Pop these off. Which when popping these off, do be careful. Like grab it. You gotta grab it like a certain way, to where you don't grab it by like the wing or something. It could break. Try to grab it like from the top areas if you can. Which I'll get more into these parts later. Pop these off. The guns. They're a bit stiff still on mine. Come on. Come on. And bring those aside, and then again, without all the armor bits, you just got this, which like it looks alright, but it's just there's nothing going on for like color outside of like the little bits on the wings and like a little bit going down here, but then just the limbs are just dark basically. Which you can transform everything with those on, but just since I don't want to put them back on yet, we're gonna do it without doing that. Oh yeah, one more thing right quick actually. You do get an included stand, which what you do is you get this extra piece that wraps up down here like so. You basically just kind of like get it under this part with the gun right here. It doesn't like clip in, but it's fairly secure. And then you pop it on there. Bada bing, bada boom. He's in the air, which it is nice that these figures, like when you get figures like this, it comes with a stand. It's always a win. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into transformation. So first, remove this piece if you put it on. Then remove the gun. I want to fold down the landing gear. So yeah, like I mentioned, it's pretty hollow under there without the gun. And fold in the other landing gear, which these do roll. They aren't pinned wheels, but they're wheels. Take these wings, fold them up, and just fold them forward. You can leave them like that for now. Come down to the bottom, untab the arms, and you want to pull them out on this joint, move it up, and position it all like so. Take on both sides, move it out on this joint. There's actually a lot of joints in the arm you can do this pretty easily with. Then just get it all up there. And then you want to take this section, just untab it for now. Then you want to bring in this part of the nose cone and this part, then take this whole assembly and flip it around where it should all fit right like there. Move the head back so you can fold that down like so. The chest is all done. Take this bit and it should be on a slider to just slide up. And you want to take the legs and split them, open them up, bring them down, close them back. As they do, there's a tab and then a slot, so they just close. You want to come down to the feet, flip out the heels, flip up the part of the foot, then the toe. And same on both legs, flip that down, flip up that part of the foot, then flip up the toe. Take the arms, extend them out a little bit, bring that down, rotate out the fist, put it back, and you got an arm. Same over here. Open up the bottom. Now this fist for me, what I have to do is I like stick the gun handle in there, because it'll fall back in there a little bit to where I can't get it out. Then move it up, and then close that flap back, like so. Get him all situated, because he is quite tall for a Legends lad. And here is Skyfire in his robot mode. And he does look pretty nice to me. Like, again, I do wish there was more color going on in, like, just this, because this really does show the armor is most of the color. But I do still think that this looks nice. Let's go ahead and get a close-up of the head sculpt, which I think was done and painted pretty well. If my camera would ever focus. No, it's not gonna. Sort of. There we go. But yeah, like I think a few areas here could have been purple. Like they could have like molded the front of the crotch in purple. These pieces could have been molded in purple. Maybe even like the toe or even this piece of the foot could have been purple. Like just kind of. It does need a bit more of the breakup, like in just this mode, because the limbs outside of these pieces, and then like a little bit of paint in the thruster, are just black. There's a bit of paint in the torso, and like, you know, up here you get all the paint in different colors, but just it's a bit boring. But what isn't boring is the articulation. Head can go up that far, and then can look down that far actually, just because it has a little joint there. Arms can go all the way up if you want to use that, or you can use this joint. Have a nice double jointed elbow bend, a swivel there. They do have a wrist swivel. You gotta like move the wrist out and then swivel it, which we're actually going to talk about these in a minute. Waist does rotate. He does have a really deep ab crunch. If you move these out of the way, the legs can go forward only about that high, not too much. They don't have the extra joint to like move out or anything. It can go all the way out. These move up here to accommodate. It looked like it kind of looked like there was like a pipe right there that was just going outwards. I was a bit confused. Really nice knee bend actually. Got a nice double jointed knee. And then the ankles do move that far, and the feet can kind of wiggle a little bit, but that's about it. But I'd say that is still like a ton of articulation. Then you can also position the wings a little bit differently if you want, because they do just rotate. So you can't give him his gun, which does have a little bit of paint on it, but not a ton. But it does still look pretty nice as it looks. Nice double-barreled big boy as it should be. She does hold quite well. A little bit firm, but not too bad. Like, I think my only real issue with the gun is how hollow the underside is. Wish it just looked a bit more filled in, I guess. Which fist fell out, which I guess this does spoil. He does have alternate hands. But the thing is, you need these hands specifically for transformation. Like the open, like, port hands. But on my copy, they are ridiculously loose. Like, I'm holding this one in over here with some tape. I don't know how visible that is. Like, this one's in there literally by tape because it doesn't stay in. Which is very unfortunate because this does look nice. But anyways, alternate hands, get a nice little baggie too. I can open it, oh my god. Test of strength on camera. But you get a pair of open hands. You get solid fist, which these are actually the ones that are on the toy when you get it, which is even weirder to me that these aren't the transformation hands. And then you get one pointer finger. Which I don't know why it's only one. You'd think it'd be two unless my copy's messed up and I only got one. But you just swap these out simply by taking out the fist and plugging in the other one, which every other fist I have is nice and tight. To do the wrist swivel, like all the way, you have to like bring the peg out just a little bit, but like they're all much tighter than the hands needed for transformation, which I don't understand that. But they do all look quite nice. I do like the closed fists. They're sculpted very well. They just work out for me. But I will leave on the open hands just because they hold the weapons, you know? You need to be able to do that. Excuse me. Which, speaking of weapons, let's go ahead and bring back in the armor pieces. We'll get a closer look at them now. Which, these are the leg pieces. Has a bit of gunmetal paint there and there. However, I do want to note with these, the arm blasters, I had to actually shave the pegs because they were so tight in the figure that I thought I was going to break them trying to get them out. So mine are now a bit loose, but they all do plug in. These just plug in down there. And you get the arm guns, which also have some gunmetal on the barrel and then a bit there, which I also had to shave these down a little bit as well. Which these just plug in. And then finally you get the bigger guns, which do have a little bit of gunmetal paint, some silver. And of course there's a bit of paint there. And then these do still open up. Move out a joint there. You can flip out the guns. Which these are molded in green clear plastic and then painted over gunmetal. It does look pretty nice. This is how you use clear plastic. Take notes, Hasbro. Like seriously, take notes. And these just plug in back here. Just look, and like with the armor, it is much better. Like there's life breathed into this. It's just a shame that like the base robot doesn't really have any color. Now he does have this alternate head too. Come on, camera. Which you might have seen on the box, but to get it on, you have to like unscrew this head and that head, and it's a whole complicated thing. I don't want to do it on camera. It would take too long. So there you go. He does have an alternate head. Did not forget. Now, one thing that's kind of neat is that I had to watch reviews here and there because, like for example, it didn't really show anything to do with like landing gear with this gun, or the stand piece. Like the instructions do not tell you what to do with this at all. I don't know why. But then there's this piece that apparently no one understands what it is, because like I watched a few videos and like no one really mentioned what, like either this wasn't mentioned or they were like, yeah, I don't know what to do with this. And what I'm assuming this was meant to plug in for the robot mode for the stand port, because there's the stand, it has like, you can pop this piece off and then you can pop this on, but there's nowhere for this to plug into. Because what I think happened is this was going to plug into the butt here, and like the hole is the perfect size for it, but there's a screw in there, so it obviously just can't go in. So I'm pretty sure that's what that was for, because there's nowhere else on the figure that can be gotten onto. However, if you want, you can like take the stand, move it around a bit to that configuration. You can probably just plug this into the backpack, but even then you're not really all that far off the ground. There's no reason to do this unless you just want him to look like a Gundam in the port, just waiting to go. I don't know. Or an Ava unit. Oh my god. The peg got stuck. Which just fall. Poor guy. Which, oh yeah, I did forget to mention, I also had to shave down the inside of this hole. So just be wary. If you get your copy, there might be some things here and there that be shaved down or just dealt with. Let's get his heels in place, I guess. I think one of the heels fell. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to a couple of comparisons. Here he is with some New Age guys. So you can see how that scales. Here he is with some Magic Square. Here he is with a TX9 Warren Pocket. Which they're irrelevant now, right? Like, I know I mentioned this in the last video, but I feel the need to just put it in here just because it's something you can buy. It's a thing in the collection, you know. I guess. And then here he is with this big boy that for some reason won't stand for me to. Like he just won't. I even got the guns that like counterbalance. Can I counterbalance with his arms? No, he just won't. There we go. He's standing on threads. Go while we can, people. Go, go, go. So there they are. And you can see there's color comparisons, like, excuse me. I guess, like, the lack of color makes sense, because really his limbs don't have any real color whatsoever, but it's just, you'd think the new one would just do a little bit more. I don't know, it just kind of bugs me, since it's like, you know. I actually paid more for the Legend scale one than I paid like 40 for this, and this is 65. Yet this one is the one with more paint. Come on, man. And then finally, comparison with my other Iron Factory toy that I will one day review. But the neat thing about these two is the fact that there's actually a little bit, I'm going to just put in parentheses, a little bit of a combination that I'm not really going to show off, and I'm going to explain to you guys. So, basically, this figure, you know, I've shown it off in a couple of these videos. He has this whole trailer that splits apart and becomes armor all over his body due to the ports all over the place. And so if you notice, Jetfire, or Skyfire, or whatever fire, has, you know, all these guns and things that also come off and are on 5mm ports. So basically, these two can, like, trade their armors. Like, he can actually wear the feet and everything. And he can wear all of this. The jetpack, this whole assembly, does actually come off. Like, it's on a 5mm peg, which is the only piece of the puzzle that completely confused me. Like, the slider is built in here and everything. It's really weird. But yeah, like it's made to like interact with this. I mean, if he can stand with it is one thing, but like he can interact with it. Iron Factory, like they knew Siege was happening. They had to beat Hasbro to the game. I'll one day review that figure, I swear. I say that in all these videos. One day it'll get a review. When I do the others, I'm behind by like 5 of them. And one day I'll get fully caught up. Probably never, who knows. I mean, I think this might be the last one for the year, unless New Age just shows up and surprises us at the very end, because like they've made a couple things that could be that could be redone into Shatterglass repaints. Like their Optimus is finally up for pre-order, I think, on Show Z, and like their Shockwave came out, but they just didn't do a Shatterglass one. New Age, every day I'm waiting for the Shatterglass one. I want it. I want a yellow one, just because we already got the red. We already got the red in Cyclonus. I want a bright yellow gun boy, but I'll also take a red one, not gonna lie. But yeah, if you heard me mention earlier, this guy was, I believe he was 65, which is the same price as the New Age Seekers, or at least Action Master Thundercracker was for me. And honestly, I'd say this is worth it. Like, this figure has supposed to come out for ages. Like, actual ages. Like, I remember first pre-ordering this back when I was still, like, in high school. I think it was, like, 2019, and, like, TF Source and other companies were already taking pre-orders for this thing. And it just kept on getting delayed and delayed and delayed. And the fact that it exists and is in my house now is just really weird to me. Because I never thought this figure would actually come out at this point. I don't know what happened in Iron Factory to where they just kept on delaying a repaint. But, hey, it's out now. Go get one if you want it. It's pretty fun. For anyone that's, outside of this loop, like I did mention, he is big for, being a legend scale guy. He's like the same size, same height as an Earthrise Datsun, like he's deluxe, basically. So, keep that in mind, I guess. But, yeah. Anyways, that is pretty much all I have to say. So, please be sure to check out my channel for more video and custom reviews. And please don't forget to subscribe. You can also come check out my Facebook and Tumblr pages, linked in the description below. And you can also come join the Infinite Sun Discord server, also linked in the description below. And this is the 14th Prime, signing out.